So now President Trump has been putting pressure on the Maduro regime ever since he got in office. It's not just about the warships. He also increased sanctions on Venezuela. On top of that, he put a $50 million bounty on Maduro's head itself. So how is Maduro reacting to all this, and how weak is his regime? How are they reacting to this pressure, and how are they handling it?
Yeah, so I mean, the ability of Maduro and the Venezuelan regime to resist pressure shouldn't be underestimated, right? Chavismo has been in power for 26 years. That's for a reason. They built a totalitarian state that controls every aspect, every part of society. We're talking that Maduro himself, he took power in 2013. Chavez took power, and he was also a dictator. This is important to say. He took power in 1999. He won an election, and then he built a regime, a totalitarian state that after he passed away, Maduro took power in 2013. So he has survived massive protests, 2014, 2017, 2019, even 2024, 2025, we have seen protests as well. He has survived economic sanctions and even military uprisings, specifically in April 30, 2019. So he managed last year to steal an election, even though he only had support of 30% of the Venezuelan population. But today, the situation looks a little bit different. It looks like at least this pressure is a type of pressure that Maduro and Venezuela have never seen before. You know, we're talking about Axios actually was reporting that we have never seen, or the US has never been this close to being a direct conflict with Venezuela. And of course, that says a lot of what's going on. We're talking about 3 destroyers, 1 aircraft carrier, 1 nuclear submarine. And this actually costs money, around $13 billion to mobilize these equipments to try to fight the cartels. So is the Maduro regime strong? Yes, it is. It's controlled by the armies. It's a narco state. The reason why they're still in power is not because they have the consent of the Venezuelan people, but because they have managed to build a totalitarian state where if you speak out against the regime, you go to prison or you can be killed. They control social media. If you tweet something that they dislike, they go after you. Just having this conversation, the conversation that you and I are having right now, if we were in Venezuela, we both would be at risk. If I were in Venezuela, I would be in prison, but we can talk about this a little bit later. I have a cousin who went to prison. So they created a huge, big government totalitarian state that doesn't allow individual liberties, that doesn't allow individual freedom, and that is only sustained by force. So the actions that the Trump administration and the U.S. government has been implementing and in the last few days are diplomatic sanctions, economic sanctions, political pressure, but even military movements are a new episode or a new chapter in this conflict that is so particular, that is so important. But we need to understand and we need to realize that sadly the Maduro regime is actually very strong. Is he sleeping better today than a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago? No, he's not. Actually, the US government is offering $50 million for information that can lead to his arrest. Of course, that creates incentives around for people around Maduro to betray him. And that doesn't make him feel comfortable. But at the same time, we need to realize that it's not gonna be easy, to have freedom in Venezuela, to try to have a regime change. It's not going to be easy because Maduro, in fact, has managed to deal with other difficult situations in the past. Not as difficult as this one, but for sure difficult.